Gearheads, and welcome to the League, exploring the League of Legends lore from A to Z. My name is Rebecca.
And I'm John.
My name is Mark.
Today we're talking about the Arrow of Retribution, Varus, who was released May 8th, 2012.
Yeah, as a slightly different person than he is today.
That's true. I forgot to look at the actual date. It was like 6-7 years ago where you were?
That he got a lore update, yeah.
I say rework,
remember.
yeah. It's more like a, yeah.
Yeah, it was just a lore thing, right?
Yeah, he became a Darkin.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
They're like, we should put another one of these in the game.
Yeah. Is it too late to add an A to his name? Yeah. Fuck.
Oh, shit. A Varus?
It's fine. Fuck it. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It is kind of interesting. After we do the bio, I looked at the version before that, and it's interesting to see the way that Darkin themselves have kind of changed in lore a bit.
Nice.
I think colors some of how he's written.
Version. So.
Yeah, I also looked at that too. That was one I was pretty familiar with because of the Penny Arcade comic that came out when he was initially released. Yeah, I say comic; it's like a one-page thing,
but that was still exciting, I'm sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
John, we have a problem. You did not put any quotes.
Yes, sorry. Hold on. Let me go down. I did forget to actually find good ones. So there are these ones that I just happen to also have.
Oh goodness. Okay. I don't. He sounds like a growly man as far as
with echoes,
which I can't do that.
Wait, show us the mouth positioning for echoes, Mark.
For echoes? Oh, I don't know about echoes.
How do you?
I can do masked and muffled, but I can't do echoes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a different setup.
I just assumed you could do all of them.
What can I say?
Can I go in the bathroom or something? Or
I mean, yeah, we've already started recording, but if you gotta go, you gotta go.
Just bring the mic over.
We could just try and do it after. We can try and just guess what you're gonna say, and then we'll try and echo
I
behind.
love it. Okay, Mark, you go first. We'll do that to you.
Sure, yeah, that's fine, honestly. The only one I know is his pick quote, which is, the guilty will know agony.
Agony.
Nailed it.
Agony.
The pack cursed you, sister. It only created more targets. Wow, John, you didn't give me an echo. What the hell was that?
Targets.
I do love this one echo. Fuck, sorry. Kids.
I only got some Mark echo.
My bad.
You put your soul into Mark's echo?
I was looking at my quote. I got ahead of myself.
Go ahead. See if you get an echo, motherfucker.
Oh, shit.
Aatrox, brother. The AA thing is absurd and you know it.
No.
Nice. Thank you, honey.
I love you more than you love me. So,
This is like saying bless you when someone sneezes.
All right. Well, on the Riot Universe page, Varus has his bio, 2 comics, the As We Fall video, and a short story.
Yeah.
Is the short story on the Universe page?
There was a short story at the very bottom.
Oh, okay. Maybe I just didn't look
It's
far
like
enough.
I know. Normally, it's not at like after the video. It's like at the very bottom. You know, you just gotta scroll a little, Mark.
Right.
Oh shit.
We're used to not having to scroll on Universe.
I was gonna say that's like a million points in like the Universe's fucked up page like tally, and there's 1 point in the like. Okay, that's my fault tally.
That one's on me.
I'll give him that one.
All right, so Varus's bio. Varus, normal boy in Shurima.
Something like that.
He was a temple warden back in the ancient times and very loyal to his job. So loyal that when his homeland was attacked by, is it Ikatha, right?
Acathia?
Acathia is what I always say, and then my brain's like, no, it's Ikatha, and then I feel stupid. Anyway, his homeland was attacked by Acathia, who refused to leave even though most everyone else did. He was found by the Ascended host, surrounded by like all the enemies he murdered to protect the temple, and they rewarded his sacrifice by allowing him to ascend as well. Good Good job, buddy. You let your family die. You want to be a god? I don't know.
You're weird and unsettling.
It is worth
they
mentioning.
literally said that they couldn't look at him. He was so creepy.
It was said that his cold gaze unsettled even the god warriors themselves.
So they decided to give him god warrior powers.
Right? Like, y'all gotta put a tighter rein on who you turn into an immortal god. If
They
a
felt
mortal
so
unsettles
bad.
you, keep him mortal.
Right?
Yeah.
This is like Soraka level punishment for sure. Anyway, Varus was pretty revenge driven, wanted to kill all Acathians and void creatures. Like other Ascended, he just kind of fell apart and became a Darkin. It's more words than that, but he was like, "Rawr!" and then was too powerful. And now he's Darkin. I think that's what happens.
That's
to them.
basically what it said in the bio.
Yeah. He was pretty evil, but eventually was stopped by, they say, Vestayan moonstalkers and human mages who served the golden armored warrior queen. I believe we talked about this person, but I don't remember.
I didn't remember her at all.
No, we didn't? Okay, never mind.
Yeah, like, it sounded like... I don't know. It sounded like it could have been, like, a Zolani type person.
And that's
like,
who Zoe is
I don't know.
now? Or?
No,
No.
Zoe
That's
was Misha in the old
Oh, Jesus.
lore.
It's all so confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. I just assumed it was... They never say it's Solani, but like I just kind of assumed it was because of the whole fight that the non-Darkin Ascended were having with the other Ascended at the time.
But I thought...
Jesus.
Although by the time they had the ability to seal people, I don't think there really were any
Yeah, my assumption
non-Darkin
is...
Ascended left, huh?
That's kind of my
Other
thoughts.
than
I thought
Nasus?
Zolani or Zolani, I don't know how we're pronouncing it, was one amongst the many. Right? I assumed this was just a hanging plot thread that just they never
Kind of,
followed up with
yeah.
anywhere.
That tracks.
I could see that. What?
Right?
Never followed up. Anyway, this nameless person imprisoned Varus in his bow and then used the bow for the end of the war for a little bit. Afterwards, she took him to Ionia and told her followers to bury her alive in a well with the weapon. Just one last deed. Varus was there for a while until Noxus invaded. We'll go into way more detail about what happens here because there's a whole comic about it. But basically, two beast hunters, Valmar and Kai, were fighting Noxus at the temple when Kai became injured. Basically, Val wanted to save Kai's life, so he took him to this well, hoping to heal him with the well's mysterious magic, which awoke Varus, of course. Because I guess they didn't hear about Viego dropping like his dying lover in water and all the consequences that caused.
Ruination hadn't happened yet.
Two instances. No, Ruination had happened by then, probably, right? I don't know.
Maybe.
Who
Yeah,
knows?
because Varus was for
it was
centuries.
pretty restricted to that island until
I guess
Sentinels.
so.
I mean, they were...
I
was
just,
gonna say,
yeah,
these
it's
guys
a
were
weird thing to
written
happen
before
twice
Viego existed, so...
in Runeterra.
Yeah, they don't get newspapers in Ionia.
Otherwise, I'd been like, oh, I shouldn't put my dying lover in the well? Fuck.
Damn it. The well with unspecified magic
With the
powers that we were told not to trifle with.
If you were dying, I would try it.
Aw.
Yeah. If you were dying, I'd throw you in a well of magic powers.
Samey.
Aw, yay. Well, now what are you going to say about the Medarda tier patrons? That would have been your...
No, I
You have
got
to
them
think of
covered.
something else.
Don't you
Okay,
worry.
good.
There's room enough in the well for everybody. Let's be...
Big old well.
I've seen the ring. So we can all fit down there. Anyway, Val and Kai lost their bodies and merged with Varus. They all created a new body together, and now the three of them are just kind of stuck in there, kind of fighting over control. Varus wants to kill all the humans and find the other Darkin and, reunite the remaining ones. And Val and Kai are hoping to defeat him with the power of love. And that's Varus.
Yeah, that's Varus.
That it is. Yeah.
It does specify that he emerged from the well pale and inhumanly beautiful.
Oh, yeah, he's real sexy.
Yeah.
Which, he's someone's type for sure. I don't know if I'd go as far as to say inhumanly beautiful.
It's just
but,
a picture of him, He's probably better looking in person.
That's true.
Yeah. Not photogenic.
He doesn't photograph well. It's the goat legs, probably.
And the weird tendrils coming up from his crotch. That doesn't signify anything good.
Like you said, he's somebody's type. That bit in particular. But,
Also, they say at the end of this, but should this sadistic and egotistical killer come to fully dominate his new host, it is certain he will seek to reunite with others of his kind. Which, I mean, he's already kind of fucking doing that, even though he hasn't dominated the host yet. He's just off on a merry little unsuccessful search.
Yeah, the question of who's in charge is really up in the air, isn't it? It seems like it's just, who knows who's running Varus.
It seems like it's really
today.
Varus. I mean, in the stories, it seemed like it's Varus, and mostly because he's careful to not do things to piss them off that will cause them to gain control. I don't know, though.
I don't know either.
Although in the comic, it seems to... Yeah, Valmar has control for a little bit there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
and they do seem to have, like, moments of, like, being able to take control.
That's kind of what I would expect. It's just...
This is a lot of people in one man. I don't know.
There's a lot of people in one man.
I'd be so fucking annoyed. Like, you don't get a minute alone. Like,
Sure.
I love you, but do I want to be imprisoned in, like, a demon soul with you? Not really.
Especially
if you
because,
don't
like...
want to get put in a well.
Oh, shit. Damn.
I thought...
No, I'd rather be in prison forever. Than live that way.
Okay,
it seems like they'll be able to read each
True
other's
loved one.
thoughts, too. You know?
Uh-oh. What do you mean you were having doubts?
You're the one who ate all the fucking chips. You said it was just...
I like you meet my mother.
Been,
What the fuck?
All I said was that I thought Vestayan Moonstalkers could be sexy, all right?
It's just a fantasy. It's a fantasy. Yeah. But seriously, though, right? Like, that's a... I don't know. We can talk about it, but I feel like... I don't know. That's stuff you could get into with Val and Kai, right? It's like how their relationship has changed as a result of this crazy thing that's happened. That Val specifically sort of... This wackadoo situation, you know?
Yeah, Kai seemed like he would have rather died.
Exactly, right? I mean, we'll see that this was more comic stuff, but like... I don't know. It's hard because the bio doesn't really get into them as characters very much, and Varus, there's Varus, whatever. There's not like a there's not a ton to get into there either. I kind of feel like, he's just an angry Darkin.
Yeah, I guess just like the idea of him, I do find it. I find the idea of Varus interesting. He's a Darkin who is in more of a human body, which is different from the other Darkin, which makes me curious if he were to reunite with a Darkin, how would they feel about him? I don't think they would necessarily welcome this form that he's in.
Luckily, we've got some quotes.
Additionally,
Varus is in kind of an interesting place for us in that I know that this has happened with champions that we've already gone over since we've gone over them and we just haven't done revisits, and I'm sure it's going to happen more in the future, but Varus might be the first one that we've gotten to who has actually had his lore kind of significantly progressed through Legends of Runeterra and not
Yeah.
universe.
Okay.
The thing is that content all came out before Riot said, "Hey, this is the line in the sand." So I don't know if it's direct. I would like them to stick with it because the direction we can just talk about it now, right? Because there's not much else to say. I want to know.
Yeah, where did it go?
Is it like?
Yeah. Well, actually,
if you got the flavor text or I don't know if you have.
I have a lot of the flavor text. Did we want to go in order though? Because that is technically after
that's like
everything.
That's the end result of everything. Yeah, we should. That's fair.
Yeah, we'll learn more about everybody else first.
Sure.
So, by the way, all of this is Graham McNeil.
Oh, okay.
He wrote all the comics, the short story, and the bio.
Yeah, he was the only credit I could find for the comic, actually.
Yeah.
If he drew the thing, then God bless. But I doubt it. Yeah.
Man's talented.
Right.
Yeah. So first one is Heartlight, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess if we're going in chronological order, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think this releases a series of 3 comics. I want to say I know they have it linked as 2. I could be wrong. It might just be those 2, Heartlight and Retribution. But
I thought it was just 2, but I'm not sure.
That's how it's on the universe page. But I saw people referencing it in 3 parts. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
I think I could be wrong about this one too. Are you? So it's Heartlight, Retribution. Are you thinking of the God, what's it called? Not reconciliation. Another R word that means redemption. Was that the third one?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I
think I saw a lot of people referring to redemption. I don't think, if that's what you're thinking, it might not be, but I think that's just in reference to a lot of his LOR stuff. I don't know if that's its own comic, but he could have a third one other than the Penny Arcade one that I just don't know about.
No, whatever. It doesn't really matter, honestly. It's just splitting hairs. But yeah, so this one kind of goes back before Varus as we know him, and it's Kai and Val, and just kind of opens on them doing a little hunt. They're going back to Palace, which is where Val is from, to go they're gonna go meet Val's mom, and they also have to go offer up. That's where they got that temple, right? And I think the idea is if you're from there, when you return, you go and offer up something that was like formative on your journeys out, and it helps strengthen the temple's magic. So they get back. Everyone likes Kai. I'll be honest, that's going to be really hard for me to remember who's who specifically, so you'll have to help me out.
Right.
But yeah, but everyone likes Kai, and they're getting ready to go to the temple, and there's like these kind of weird things. Like I think Val has a like kind of a weird dream where
he does about Varus.
Yeah, Varus is speaking to him from the well, and they go up and Val, one of them is offering up the thing up to the temple. The other one's talking to, I guess, like this temple seer.
And so Kai is offering up the horn or something like that, and Val, who's from there, is talking to the seer. Mm-hmm.
Exactly, and she's essentially, this is like this. She's saying like, hey, you have to leave him because otherwise horrible things are in your future, and it doesn't really matter because immediately Noxus shows up and attacks, so he has no way to react to that information. And
those seers that can only see like 10 seconds into the future.
Yeah, right. They fight off the invaders, but Kai is mortally wounded. Val dunks both of them into the well, and that's kind of where Heartlight sort of ends. And then we pick up at what was it called? Now I've got Redemption stuck in my brain.
Retribution. Did you guys do this on the Riot Universe page at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, because what was cool is you finished that comic and then it immediately took you to the video As We Fall.
Oh, really?
So as you're going through the pages of the comic, you can watch As We Fall and then you start up the next comic, because As We Fall is what happens right after Heartlight.
I did it on mobile and it didn't, so I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Interesting.
But we can talk about the cinematic if you want to jump onto that, or I guess we can talk about this first half of the comic if you want to split it up that way.
Yeah, it's literally the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting. They mentioned another philosophy or another not philosophy, well, maybe philosophy. They said they talked to some other soothsayer, I guess, and they're like, but he said our souls would be as one, so nothing to be worried about meeting my parents, which they all thought was romantic, but this awkward. They misread that prediction.
I mean, how would you know?
How could they
fucking
know?
Sears,
how could they know?
Between that one and Soraka, God, they're fucking useless in many ways, aren't they?
I might have to check on Poppy.
No worries.
She's standing and yelling a lot, I think. You guys can keep going without me or wait.
No, we're not.
It's up to y'all.
Yeah, we can just take a pause.
Okay.
It's no big deal.
Sure.
I want to know what people thought of the Varus lore relaunch, because it is very different in terms of just like, in some ways. I guess in other ways it's still the same. I don't know. Like some of the core like themes maybe are there, but he didn't have used to be three people.
Yeah, he definitely didn't used to be three people up in there. And I think especially before they added a lot of the new Velmar Kai like lore, basically, back when it was kind of just the music video and that was like the context we had. It was very weird. It was kind of their first, I think it was their first canon gay couple. And the very first one they introduced, they kind of killed off and then stuck into the mind of a demon.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I remember that being a very I guess like big deal. I guess it's still in some ways people make big deals out of it now, but just like, I mean, the idea that they would even flirt with that idea, right? I remember at the time was sort of like, I don't know, I guess I had the sense of like, oh wow, okay. I mean, because I know from Riot's perspective there are like legitimate sort of like publishing complications that come about in specific regions, right? And it's hard to say like to try and strike that balance. Like I said, I would be really curious to like. We should revisit it from that perspective alone, and just like really think like, now that we've had a little bit of time to let it sit, and we can see other things like Graves and Twisted Fate, and Cassante, how do we feel about that? Like, and is Varus, I kind of get the feeling of, like, not feeling, but I guess I kind of land on it where, like, as it is now, I think Varus is fine. It's an interest, like Rebecca kind of said earlier, it's an interesting conceit for a character, I think, and has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
But the context and, like, as it was in 2017 or whatever is very different, right?
Right. Because, like, I think they've done a lot since initial release to really give Val and Kai personalities, and that was kind of lacking on the initial relaunch. Like, we didn't really know much about them when the music video came out.
Yeah.
All we knew is, like, hey, there's this gay couple, and now they're stuck in a Darkin. Like, okay,
like, all right, you do, I guess.
Like, I think a lot of the additional world building with the two comics and the short story and what they're doing in Legends of Runeterra that give Val and Kai a lot more agency in the Varus character than they initially had, I think helps a lot. I'm not equipped to say if it counteracts enough, but I mean, I think it's progress.
Sure. I think we'll talk about it more when Rebecca gets back, but I would like to see a lot more of it because I'm still not satisfied, ultimately, just in terms of them two as characters on their own. Yeah, I think, like you said, I remember when I remember being at the show and tell when the music video came out, and I think leading up to that, I was not hooked into, like, upcoming Champ reworks or anything like that. I worked in fucking, like,
right.
QA, right? So I think I got all the context that anyone kind of had at the time, which is like, hey, here's the brief summary of what we're doing with the character. Now here's this music video, and it's like, okay, I don't really know what I just saw, and like you said, I don't know who these characters are.
It was very wild. With no context, that music video is so wild.
It really is, and I remember at the time feeling like, this is the first time I've ever seen a Riot cinematic, a really, like, high quality one, where I didn't leave it feeling like, oh, that was so cool. I was just more like
emotional even.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of their cinematics, I'd be like, I'd like shed a tear. Like, God damn, that was good.
Dude, we should at some point rewatch the Annie cinematic. I have not since having a daughter, and I feel like it will heavily affect us.
Real
I don't really know if I want to.
No, I can confirm. I still, to this day, I still watch a lot of reaction channels reacting to League cinematics just because I like seeing people experience them for the first time. So I've definitely rewatched the Annie cinematic, and it does hit different.
I mean, it already got to me beforehand. I can't imagine. I was thinking about. I literally
was just watching this dumbass like Facebook short today about this, like, old couple that found this baby who had wings in a field, and they, like, nursed it back to health, and, like, they raised it, and then finally it got to the age where it had to fly away. And I was like,
it's gonna happen. Maybe we could just clip them just a little bit, right? Yeah, man. Yeah.
I do remember, though, at the time that they were doing this music video, they did make a very big deal of the fact that, like, we made this in collaboration with an internal diversity board that we had put together, which at the time was like, okay, cool. Like, that's good that they did their due diligence at least. But now, like, I'm thinking back at what Riot was like at the time. I'm like, what kind of fucking diversity board did they have at the time? Like, they asked, like, 2 people that they knew would tell them whatever they wanted to hear.
I always thought it was weird. This was the sense I always had. I don't remember who this guy was. I'm not trying to dump on him or anything like that. So, like, this is you who I'm describing. Really don't take it personally. But it's just the sense I had leading up. It was like the executive producer for the team, I want to say. I don't know exactly, but one of the guys who was, like, really high leadership in that team in this whole effort. And he had a very particular style, especially his hair. And when they showed the music video and they had Kai and Val up there, I could not help think, these guys look exactly like this guy. Which is like, I don't know what I take away from that. I remember it struck me really hard at the time. I think also because in the music video, Kai and Val look really similar. Like, I think problematically so, almost. Like, because
It was kind of, yeah, it was definitely like at times difficult to tell them apart in the video. But that is funny too, that it was kind of a self-insert, like, oh, let's make both of them look like, I don't know.
Both had like a side.
I'm throwing out a picture here. Oh, so like you? Yeah. And can we describe them as inhumanly beautiful, please?
Man. But yeah, like I said, I'm not trying to take a jab at anyone or anything like that. It's just a feeling I remember. I remember, it's just like something that I remember, like, very much in the moment was that. And then, like I said, we left the thing. I was like, huh, this is a weird feeling where I'm not, this didn't like, also, again, I don't want to talk too much about it with Rebecca, but like, the music is also not like, it's not to my personal taste. It's not something I would throw on if I was listening to music. And that's like, there's no helping that, I think.
Yeah, no, we have like a playlist that's got like 99% of the Riot music on it, and it definitely didn't make the cut. I remember, again, I watch a ton of these fucking channels, but one of the reactors that I watched, like Joey Nato, reacts to all the League music and loves most of it, and reacted to As We Fall and was like, it's not really my jam, and people fucking jumped down his throat. Next video, he was like, guys, I didn't like it, all right? It's not my fucking fault. Like, I'm a music producer. I do know something about music. Like, leave me alone.
I don't know shit about music. I just know what I like to listen to. You're absolutely right with that. It doesn't make the cut. I mean, whatever, man. If you like it, it's fine. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff I listen to that I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't like, and that's cool. It's MBD. It's just weird. Like
I write a lot of music that no one would like. It's my specialty.
But I think it's like you said, like almost anything that comes out of the Riot music team, it's like you're gonna like it, even if it's not something you would normally listen to. I feel like they do such a range of stuff, and I feel like they've got a really good ear for stuff that's really, I don't know, it just lands, and it's just interesting almost to have this kind of weird outlier where like the music didn't land. I liked it a lot more on rewatch, I will say. All this context, haven't seen it in many years. It's like, the music's whatever, but the video I actually ended up liking.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I definitely, without the stories, it didn't make a ton of sense to me, but like with the stories, like, okay, that's cool. I can get it now. I can get behind this shit. Sure. Maybe they should have finished those first. That's
a good point. I don't know. I could see that sort of being...
got real excited. Yeah. They're like, we gotta ship this.
Excited is the word.
We spent so much money on it. I don't know when the comics are going to be done. Just fucking ship it. They're going to love it.
Yeah, I'm sure, right? And I could... And in their defense, man, if that was something that was the project you were working on, it's really hard to rein yourself in, I think. And that's how a lot of bad stuff gets made, is that people really want the stuff they're working on to get out.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, so we made it up to fun facts.
We really blazed through, honestly.
Nice. Let's go. I'm tired.
So where were we? We had.
Oh, you didn't actually make it to the fun.
We were on our way to Retribution.
We talked about the cinematic a bit in the kind of break there. Do we want to talk about it?
Yeah.
Here.
Do you have anything you wanted to say about the cinematic?
Oh, no, I don't think so. The song's in my head now, but yeah.
What do you think of the song? How do you rate it? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Oh.
Does it make your playlist?
It doesn't make my playlist, actually.
See, I told you.
We came to that, yeah. I guess you spoiled it.
Oh,
right?
you knew it wasn't on my playlist?
I thought maybe you had your own one. Maybe you'd be like, yeah, I might throw it on there. And then there's a little
Trouble
Trouble
in
in
Paradise.
Paradise.
I listen to.
Okay.
No, I have multiple.
She's your tastemaker.
I was given the Alchemist role on Spotify Wrapped because of how much I make playlists.
What a mix master.
Yeah,
Damn.
basically. Because I just make so many fucking playlists. But anyway, I don't know what it is about the song, but it doesn't hit me the way others do.
Yeah. No, we agree.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same. And I
wouldn't say it's a bad song, but it just doesn't hit us.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. And I was taking umbrage with I think umbrage broadly with the visual design of Kai and Val, because I find them they're way too similar in appearance. It's so hard to tell them apart.
They look the fucking same, dude. I cannot. It's their faces. It's like, I don't care. Their hair's different, but outside of that, like, their faces are so fucking similar.
Their hair's not even
tough.
that different, I would argue. I think it's like,
It's not.
Make one taller, make one really, bulkier, or
just change their faces. I think. Well, actually,
one of them has
right.
a mustache.
You're right. In the comics, though, there were times when it was really far away that I was like, I don't fucking know who's who. Yeah. Legit right now, because they're very tiny in the far away shots. And I literally don't know.
And if you don't see what weapon they're using, it tends to
exactly.
But like I said, that's a raw visual design thing. It just I feel it a lot in the cinematic. It reminds me of the Nar reunion cinematic where they're fighting all those Noxians, and all the Noxian soldiers look like the same dude. I feel like Kai and Val got a little bit of Noxus face going on in that instance.
I could see that.
Which they would be so pissed off to know.
They would not like that.
But I like the visual imagery a lot. I was saying I hadn't watched it in a long time, and watching it with all the context of the stories, I ended up really liking the cinematic aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
so post-cinematic Retribution time.
Sure. So it picks up kind of immediately after where Varus has reformed, and Kai and Val are trying to get their bearings and figure out what's going on, while Varus is sort of running the show, and he's killing Noxians and kind of coming to grips with reality as it is now, because he's been stuck in a well for a long fucking time, and he's sort of like tempting Val. Yes, Val.
Yes.
He's tempting.
Yes.
I have to remember it because Kai got killed. Killed starts with K. Kai is not the one who's tempted. Like that's literally how I have to remember it. He's sort of tempting
K.
Val.
Michael Scott.
Whatever works, because he's mad. Right? Val is mad that Kai got killed, and so he's full of anger and revengeance. And Varus is able to kind of play into that, and is able to sort of convince Val to kind of give him some control. So they go down into the town below, which has also been like laid to waste, and Val's mom is still alive, which is that's good. But
yeah, we have parents that didn't immediately die.
I was certain she was fucking dead when they were going back down into that town. But they kind of wander off to go kill more Noxians. They land on a Noxian raiding party, one of the ones that attacked the temple, and they kill almost everyone except for this last guy, who turns out isn't a soldier. He's just an artist. I don't know why he's there. Something about his dad. His dad owns the dealership or something, and so he just does sketches.
I was thinking he's like a war journalist, but they don't have photographs, so he's just painting the war as it happens.
Right? They didn't have the war drummers at the time. They've got the war artists.
Kind of like it. Quit moving.
Yo, fucking what's his name would love that job. Hui.
Right.
Yeah. And in that moment, because this guy is sort of proper innocent, Kai is able to convince Val to not give in to his bloodlust, and they're able to stop Varus. And like we said, they seem to kind of take control of the body, and they go back home, and they can't reunite with their mother, really. But they kind of determined that we're going to go out and we're going to kick this monster out of here, and when we do, we're going to come back, and everything will be hunky-dory. And off they go. On to adventure.
Yeah. Now, Varus had a quote near the start of this after he killed an Noxian. It's been too long since I supped the sweat stink of mortal terror. Which made me real uncomfortable to read.
Yeah, Varus is achy.
I don't want to sup the sweat stink ever.
Just a little bit of sweat stink.
Sweat stink.
Yeah, Varus is a right prick, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
He is, yeah. Yeah, I don't really get anything from Varus himself, I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's with a lot of Darkin. I feel similarly, I guess. So that's kind of par for the course here.
Yeah.
Now we do find out, I don't know if we had found this out previously and I just forgot, or whether this is the first official mention of it, but Varus does specifically say that he gave humans blood magic. That blood magic actually comes from the Darkin.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've covered that yet.
Not that I remember. We haven't gotten to Vlad yet, though I guess he'll be here soon. That will probably help inform it, but...
Yeah, and I know Noxians, are big on blood magic in general, and I don't know how tied blood magic is necessarily to hemomancy, or whether those are kind of unique disciplines or not.
I assume they're the same
Seems like
thing.
they should be the same. They basically mean the same thing. If they just gave them different names, that'd be kind of dumb. But it's interesting knowing that that's originally from the Darkin. You know?
Yeah, I assume they are the same things, and that they just didn't have that name in the books, like in the Riot Style Bible Guide or whatever, when Graham McNeil wrote this.
Which is like 8 books hidden within the Riot campaign.
Right.
You gotta earn it, right?
Each team owns one of them, and they don't share. You have to defeat them in a riddle battle.
Or offer them something that will allow you to look at a single page or something like that.
And they're purposefully wrong too, just to fuck with you. That is neat, though. I will be curious to see if that gets any more play anywhere. Who knows?
He also has a quote, when I unite the 5, you will all kneel as you once did, which, I mean, he's doing so bad at that. Just so bad. Just the worst.
He's barely won. That's so good.
He's in the right area, kind of. I don't know.
You're carrying around 2 fucking humans.
He started in the right area, but then didn't find the one who was in that area, so then moved to the other area and hasn't found the one in that area either.
Just missed.
They're all roaming around.
Embarrassing.
Here's the thing,
It kind of
Darkin,
is.
when you get lost, stay put so your parents can find you.
Hug a tree.
Don't wander.
Oh my god.
Papa Varus is trying his best.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I think would be pretty cool if it came out in gameplay, to their credit, they did add a lot of this in the voice quotes, kind of recently. Not even
They had the
during his
Fury
initial rework,
like quotes
like
and
after.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, like they got the voice actor back, I think, for the big Legends of Runeterra update, and then also had them record new League voice lines too. So like, there's a lot more done here, kind of between the struggle between Vi and Kai, Val,
That's
and
them.
Kai, Val, and Varus. It would be cool if this had some sort of gameplay.
Yeah, that's definitely like a thought
interaction
that I was having, because it's very clear that the lore was created after Varus was already worked. Varus's gameplay and his lore don't match at all, which is okay. That happens sometimes, but it is always a bummer.
He shoots
When
arrows.
you teleport to the rift.
Yeah, I don't know what it would look like. It'd be an interesting thing, even if it was just in. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe he could shift his. Maybe that could be a cool skin.
You could like shift forms
Yeah.
and a skin.
I don't know. Yeah. Like who was it that we just did? Was it Hui? Where it's like light and dark kind of stuff going on. Like
yeah.
maybe depending on who he's killing, maybe he's more one of like Varus or Vi.
Yeah,
The mix
that'd be
of-
cool.
I don't know. That's probably too confusing. They're like, who's this guy?
Cal, maybe Cal. Yeah, that's for people who don't read the lore. Like, why does Varus look like this? And the great thing is that because Kai and Val look the same, you could just have it look like
That
You
is
don't
true.
have to make any changes.
you don't have to decide who it is.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. What y'all think of the art for the comics? I'll say, because it's got a pretty distinct style to it. I'll say a lot of use of color and things. I don't have the vocabulary.
I'm not good at I don't know, criticizing or critiquing.
Yeah,
God,
there we
what
go.
was that? Critiquing art. So it's hard to say. I will say I hated reading it on the universe page because it just like didn't fit the screen well, and I kept trying to figure out if there was a way to open it somewhere else, and there was not.
Oh, interesting.
Oh.
Like I said, I got the mobile experience.
Yeah, along the same lines, I'm not great at critiquing art. I feel like the main thing with comics for me sometimes is that sometimes the art is so bad that it takes away from the story, and that didn't happen. So
I guess that's fair.
A+.
I did find instances, especially in the second one, where I could not tell what the fuck was going on. Because
Literally, yes.
Yeah.
Especially in the beginning. Yeah,
some in the beginning and
During
some
action,
in the
or-
end.
Yeah. Yes.
Because it's just this big mass of pinks and reds and purples and a lot of it was pretty cool. I will say, I thought a lot of it was very impressive ultimately, and neat. Like, I don't know, I almost want to say like composition, the way that they would kind of frame the panels and stuff. But then there are panels that I want to pull out and be like, I dare someone to tell me what's actually happening in this
The fuck
specific
is happening
panel,
in this one? Yeah.
Looking at this guy talking about framing and composition.
I could be entirely wrong. Like I said, I don't know, but like there's a couple of ones that I would pull out as like examples of, oh, this was really a neat panel to draw, I guess, to put here, or a way to show this action, right? The colors. I like the colors a lot, and the way they use the kind of white highlights in a lot of the images. Again, the second half is what really sticks out in my head when Varus is really going off. But just a little bit more clarity in certain instances, maybe, is what I want. That's fine. I do wish we had more about Kai and Val in general. I was going to say, like, we get a little bit at the start of this, but it's not enough for me.
I'm with you. I mean, it was nice to at least have, like, the meeting of the family, so you could feel some kind of connection between the two of them. But yeah, it definitely is a little bit rushed. They weren't given a lot of, room with it, I guess. I would want, like, a whole other comic of the before we even get to all this, you know what I mean?
And I'm curious, so the overall goal, like, there's some things I like here. One, like, the fact that, Val's mom is still alive means that those two characters have kind of an overarching goal and end state where, like, they do get rid of Varus and they can return home, but when they do get rid of Varus, I mean, they still only got that one body.
Yeah, I was curious what would happen. I don't know if you going home.
Yeah, it's a good question. This is why, like, I to me, because we'll talk about the short story. It's just really an action piece. I don't think there's a lot to say for it. To me, I would love a story of Kai and Val as they are now. Maybe this was before the Room Terra stuff, but when they're in Varus and, like, what things are like from moment to moment for them, how their relationship has changed. And in Varus, you don't even really get to see. It's just all, like, kind of the background horror of being stuck in this body. And yeah, like the question of, like, what are we gonna do? Even if we get him out of here, like you said, we still just got the one. What are we gonna do then? It's a lot, right? And it would kind of weigh on you because you have nothing but time ultimately for those two.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. Well, the short story is called Darkin.
Yeah, someone had a real brainwave.
Sure is.
Not to be confused with the Darkin.
Yeah, let me tell you.
He had to. He thought of that in the middle of the night and flew out of bed and wrote it down. He was like, "Oh my god, I can't lose this."
Dialing up Brandon Beck, 3 a.m.
Urchin, what day is it? It's not too late. I can get it in before the patch.
Well, yeah, it's told from Varus's perspective. He's in Shurima now. He's in Shurima, and he's in, like, a ruin where they're excavating this old Shuriman ruin. He kills some people, and that's kind of it. I don't know. And he's like, "Oh, where are you, Neferi?" But he doesn't say Neferi. He just says sister.
It says sister. Yeah.
So could have been Valiva. We don't know.
I do love how there's this moment where either Kai or Val is like, "Do you have to kill them? Do you have to kill everyone?" And Varus is like, "They killed my people, the Darkin." And one of them was like, "So are you just gonna, like, kill everybody? Like, what's the goal?" They kind of, like, put him on the spot. Like, are you just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And, like, it was interesting that killing those
guards,
those folks, is like, oh, the more I kill, the more broken, Val and Kai become, and then I will defeat them. But I can't kill everyone because that makes them a little too rowdy.
Yeah, if they don't have weapons, like, I can't kill people who aren't armed.
I don't get that. I genuinely don't understand why that detail's in there, because it's like back to back. He's like reveling and killing these people. It's like, yes. Oh, but if I not kill those people, that will piss them off too much. Don't wake daddy or whatever, right? Like,
they're gonna lecture me. I can't take another fucking Kai lecture today.
Honestly, that would be funny if he was like, if I do it, they're gonna get more uppity. They're not gonna, like, get stronger. They're just gonna yell at me more. And fuck it, I don't want to listen to them.
I got a headache. I don't feel like fucking dealing with this.
Well, it's like you said. That's like the one thing they have, is that they can sit there and just sing, like, "I'm in read the 8th I am" in his head all day, right? Like.
Man,
we know what Mark would do if he was stuck.
What a deep cut on that one, Jesus.
Okay, so John, what would you sing to annoy Varus? This is everyone's.
Ooh, probably that fucking song that none of y'all had ever I guess that's not a song. That's just kind of, I don't know, maybe a song that never ends. Maybe
I was thinking
It Just
that. Is
Goes
this a
On
song
and On,
that
My-
never...
That's pretty
Or
good.
like It's a Small World.
Ooh,
that's real
that would
good.
get me, though. I don't know if I'm stronger than Varus on that one.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, it was interesting. Because one thing that happens in the story, too, is when Kai doesn't want Varus to shoot someone, he does exert enough control over the body to lower his arm for a moment.
Yeah.
Just a moment.
Just
he
a
does
second.
raise it up and then kill him anyway, but...
He kind of did his best, you know.
He tried.
He also has annoying songs in his head now, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's like when you leave the comic, it does come off like they're running the show, and then here we are here, and it's like they're just kind of in the background.
they can't do shit.
Varus is like not even sure who's who. He's like, I think that might be Kai, that might be Val.
I do
whoever.
love that. He's like this, and then every once in a while, Kai will say something real weenie like, and he's like, "Well, that was definitely Kai. That guy hates killing."
Who were- yeah.
Now, some Legends of Runeterra updates.
Yeah, I need to know
here,
where
folks.
they are now. Where are they now? Tell me.
Probably in Ionia, actually.
Oh, they're back in Ionia. They're just bouncing back and forth.
I know, right? So his description, or their description, is: what if over time the man that became the Darkin remembered himself, prompted by the mortal voices within? What if, instead of overcoming those voices entirely, he came to believe in them? Varus was empowered, bolstered, reminded of who he was and what he had yet to become. He embraced the sum of his parts instead of working against them, and when they acted as one.
It sounds like an AU.
Right?
Yeah.
Heartlight's Kai and Valmar were not the first to bear the bow and host Varus's inhuman power, but they were the first to remind him of his lost humanity.
I will say I do like the term Heartlight. I don't know
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
saw it. It's very cute.
Yeah.
It's very precious. So much better than like boyfriend, you know. This is my Heartlight. Oh God, that's so powerful.
Well, you should start going by that.
Right?
Maybe
You're
you
my
can read-
Heartlight.
Could you imagine? I'd get punched in the face. This is my Heartlight, John. Oh, my sisters would never let me live it down.
Go with Heart LED. Maybe it's cooler that way.
It's more
We're
energy
saving on
efficient.
energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Save the planet, Heart LED.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Shut up.
Fuck.
This is my green reason for being.
Anyway.
So he's got a few quotes too. Card level ups. The things they say remind us of who we were. We cannot go back to that. We can only be something new. We've been many things. Honored, forsaken, cursed. But above all, we started as men. Their voices grow ever stronger, reminding me of mortality. This constant we abide. We do not know that they are wrong, though. And then a bit of the Legends of Runeterra lore and where they are currently. Zolani, our friend Zolani, managed to find a new vessel up in Ionia. And
who is this again? Another Darkin?
Another Darkin.
Zolani was kind of, yeah.
We think the one from that city.
Kind of the big... Yeah,
Like the
like the
faceless
one they
god.
made the big old faceless god statue of in that Shuriman city.
That's right. Okay, thank you.
So Atrix, and I don't know if she is Darkin or whether she was killed before she went Darkin, because it seems the other Darkin are not happy that she's back.
Okay.
It's hard to say. The Darkin like to fight each other a lot in the first place, like you said.
That's
and-
true, yeah.
But Atrix is now rallying for the rest of the Darkin to join him in Acathia and destroy her, I guess. I don't know whether they're rallying there and then going to Ionia, whether she somehow made her way back there. I don't
They're
fucking
getting
know.
Ubers, they're getting separate rides, and they're all just going to meet up.
Yeah.
No, that's not green at all.
Varus, however, does not answer this call immediately. Instead, he seeks to gather a party of skilled warriors to aid him in hunting down Zolani. So he travels across the world. He meets with many individuals who he convinces to join him on his hunt, empowering their weapons with a fraction of his own Darkin magic. So this party consists of an ambitious scientist from Zon who wants to hunt down, or who wants to study Darkin magic, a sea monster hunter of the Buru culture, wishing to use it to hunt down leviathans, a disgruntled archer of the Avarosans seeking to destroy the Winter's Claw, and finally a member of the Lunari cult who sought to end the war between the Lunari and the Solari.
Sounds like a D&D party.
Right?
Yeah.
So the party traveled to Acathia, and they faced off against Solani, though the outcome remains unknown.
So what? I'm confused what Varus is now. He's just like, yes, I was a man once. Has he just accepted this? I don't get what's
So,
He's kind
so
of
he has...
good, right? It's a read on it.
He's kind of like... Valmar and Kai have convinced him, like, you know, you were honorable once, you could be again, and he's kind of bought into this now.
That was fast. But then why is he still trying to hunt Solani?
I don't know. This is all Legends of
she's
Runeterra
evil.
shit.
Who
Yeah,
knows?
this is all nondescript,
Okay.
and we're working off of like a paragraph of content, maybe,
Right.
not including the
That's
quotes. In my mind, it's like here's a signpost of where they might go with the character if they develop him more.
Sure.
I like it. I think it's a neat and interesting
Yeah.
tack to take with him. I hope they stick with it if they come next time they
Yeah.
come back to the Darkin. All right.
And generally speaking, if you play like Varus and Aatrox cards together too, to your question earlier, what do the other Darkin think of him? Aatrox, not fucking impressed.
I would think, yeah.
He's very much like, even the fact that he was out for revenge in the first place, like even when he was fully Darkin, didn't give a shit, just wanted to kill people out of revenge. Aatrox was already like, revenge is kind of a human emotion. We kill to kill, you know? We kill because it's
that's
fucking
true.
For the
awesome.
craft of it.
Well, it seems like Varus has always been acting out of revenge ever since he abandoned his homeland for his honor, and it almost seems like there's regret in that, which I think if they're going to go this path of making Varus more good and more human again and noble, first I want to see that. What the hell did Val and Kai do? Very I could see it. But I need to see that. But I think that would require them being in Shurima and Varus maybe reliving that time as a human. And Val and Kai finding out who he was, because they don't fucking know. They just know that he's this asshole who's trying to kill everybody for no reason.
Yeah. How many Henry VIII did it take to turn Varus good?
Just the one.
I don't think it was that. But I think that they would be really impressed by his dedication to his temple, because it's something that I don't know that I could see Val doing. 'Cause they are different people. I think that's something Kai would have maybe done, but not Val, if that makes sense.
Sure. That would.
Yeah.
You know what I like about that is that, you know, from the comic we see Kai as sort of the I don't know, the thing kind of pulling back Val, right, from being completely subsumed by Varus, and so him kind of almost acting in this weird sort of bridging way between Val and Varus, like helping everyone to understand each other a little bit more and like humanize each
He's
other.
the therapist.
Yeah, he's the glue that's holding it all together. I like it a lot, and like you said, if assuming he doesn't actually go back to Ionia, if he's in Shurima, he's very well positioned to, like you said, have to confront the past, and you could, man, I would love a little quiet story of them three just going through the ruins of Acathia or whatever, and having their little dialogues back and forth, and everyone changing a little bit. It'd be kind of neat.
That would be neat.
Nice, nice Pantheon style story.
Yes, yeah.
Ooh,
Absolutely.
I love that. Yeah.
Now, it is worth mentioning, we're not going to go into this in too much detail because we've gone over this before, and this doesn't necessarily touch on Varus specifically as a character, but more on the Darkin as a whole. So it's worth mentioning on a few points at least. But Twilight of the Gods, also by Graham McNeil, was kind of an old meeting between a bunch of the Darkin, which Varus was not at, which was kind of called out too during the story that he was noticeably absent.
I don't know if he would have been able to get there. He's in a human body.
Well, no, this was before they even
okay.
figured out how to seal
that's
people
right.
into... Yeah, these were...
Nobody went to the damn meetings.
Right? They had, I think, 10 people at this meeting.
It's their lame high
But
school
basically...
reunion.
Hey, 10 people at a high school reunion, that's a good get, Mark.
It's fair.
So this was kind of not like the head of the Darkin, basically, but, you know, one of the Darkin that people respected enough to kind of heed his call, calling them all together to have a bit of a chat. And I'll just kind of, you know, this was all set up by the aspect of Twilight, basically, who in this story goes by the name Maisha, who was the host during the Great Darkin War, kind of through the entirety of it. And she's kind of helped this Darkin, who I think he's acknowledged at least, like, hey, we're going to destroy the world if we keep this up. Like, we need some way to stop this war. And he's kind of worked with Maisha to come up with a way that involved finding out how to seal the... well, actually, he doesn't know that. He's kind of... he's found a way to kind of destroy a bunch of the Darkin that are there. And then she kind of double crosses him at the end and is like, hey, he gets turned into a human, and she's like, hey, I'm going to use your human heart and this here Chalakar, which is Sivir's weapon, which we find out in the story is actually from the Celestial Kingdom above Targon. Like, I'm going to use these, and we're going to use this, and we're going to give these to some mages, and now we're going to be able to seal Darkin up in weapons from now on. But basically, in order to, the guy's name was Tanari. In order to convince the others to listen to him, the aspect of Twilight not only helped him locate the Chalakar, but also taught him how to channel it to portal jump. Do her little ult to beat his foes, and funnel his vitality. Rather than being drawn mad and release an empowered form of moonfalling to reverse the ascension process from all of the Darkin that were there. Now, of all the Darkin, like I mentioned, only 10 gathered, including Tanari. So of those, Zuyan died prior to Tanari kind of offing everyone with a giant moonbeam. He just kind of 1v1'd Tanari, and Tanari fucking wrecked him.
It was fucking sick. It was super
so
primal
cool.
rage.
It was very awesome. And then Shabaka and Shabake, who were kind of these raven seers, were vaporized instantly by the moonfall, with Syphax, Zagantis, and Inakai. They all died to the moonfall. Tanari's ascension was reversed. He became a human, and then Maisha ripped his heart out. Naganika, Valiva, and Sebataru did manage to escape, still ascended. They didn't get hit by the moonbeam. Naganika is kind of the only one we know what happened to them, because of Legends of Runeterra, if it's canon. She has been sealed within her ballista. Valiva and Sebataru, they're still alive. We don't know whether they were eventually sealed, whether they're still kicking. Who knows what they're up to. And yeah, that's pretty much it. At the end, now we have the ability to seal Darkin, and which is how Varus was able to be sealed. The end.
What kind of animal do you think Varus was when he was an ascended? Something with like reverse jointed legs, right? Like a goat.
I was gonna say like a goat or some shit.
And he and Soraka should hang out. Damn.
Right. It is not scary, but it's fitting for like a swift archer almost. Kind of like almost like lamb.
Yeah, lamb. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Is that it?
I want to talk about some old lore.
I do.
Yeah.
I desperately do.
So which bio do we want to go over? You read his not oldest, but you I think had notes on the not oldest but not newest.
Just an interesting point about that was it's pretty much the same thing but with some changes, and I think one of the noticeable changes is that I think for a time the Darkin were not ascended. I think they were just their own separate like species or race. Which I think explains the way Varus is written a bit more in especially the comic, where he talks a lot about like them being on the brink of extinction and like his race being kind of killed off. Because I think at the time they were more like that, not just like ascended who had gone mad. That's all. That's just a little fun fact, I guess. But I want to talk about the judgment. Is what I want to talk about.
All right, I'll do the old bio. You get the judgment.
Beautiful.
It was good. So the old bio, the first part is basically the same. He kind of does the same thing. He has to choose between his duty as a warden and protecting his family. Big difference is he's in Ionia when this all happens. And he's protecting a deep corruption that was not allowed to be left unguarded. So after he successfully protected it, he went to his home and he saw his family murdered, and he vowed vengeance, so he turned back to the corruption for more power. And which he almost plays Valmar's role here in the old lore. But yeah, he left after getting the power, seeking the blood of all Noxians involved with the invasion, a grisly task that eventually led him to the invasion's most infamous perpetrators in the League of Legends.
Hell yeah, get in there, Varus.
Hop on in, buddy. Send him in,
God,
coach.
you're only going to say that so many more times.
True. That's okay. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Now, right? Now take us through this cool-ass fucking judgment.
Okay, I genuinely like the judgment. It's one of my favorite judgments, broadly speaking. I think it's one of the better written ones. But then it's also very funny in certain instances. So it'll be a fun journey.
They say a swear word.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, let's get into it. So Varus shows up at the League of Legends to do his little judgment thing or whatever. And they put him in the memory, and of course this is one of those many times where he knows this isn't real. His clever eyes, word for word, that's how they say it, can see that this is a
Look with your special eyes.
Yeah.
You know what?
Right.
To be fair, they do at least
explain it.
contextualize
Yeah,
his
it's
clever
true.
eyes, so that's something at least.
Right? I thought it was just a weird writing quirk, but it's actually a thing. Something I like about it, I'll say, is that he knows it's fake, but he can't help but get caught up in the chance that he's able to touch rustle his son's hair again when he hasn't, and he gets caught up in the maybe I could change it. I know this is fake, but maybe if I just do this or do that, I can make things right, even though he kind of knows he can't. But yeah, it kind of goes through him being in the village around the temple and being kind of signed up to be the big protector guy for the corruption, and how his clever eyes are in reference to he gets this owl tattoo, which I guess was going on the old Varus model, and that gives him more insight, and it's an intelligence boost type situation. I don't know, it's just some real he leveled up in his class or whatever. But he's guarding this corruption, and the whole time the thing is sort of like the One Ring is constantly trying to tempt him into giving in, and it's kind of putting him in these horror type situations where in his mind there's just he's standing in blood up to his ankles, and he has to kind of snap back to reality, and eventually does go through and experiences the whole invasion again, experiences giving in and getting all corrupted by the corruption again, whatever it might be, and even kind of relives moments of him hunting and killing Noxians, and it kind of ends with the summoners sort of present. They don't ask him, they don't say the line of how does it feel to open your mind, but they are hey, we know you're here to kill Noxians, and just so you know, that's not the purpose of the League of Legends. And his response is, well, that's my only purpose. And then I guess they're okay, well, as long as you know.
Welcome aboard. Sick owl tat.
Right. Can you sign this thing stating that you were told not that you can't be here to kill Noxians? Great, awesome. Breakfast is at 9. But
they come back after 10 seconds, right? After you kill them.
I'm sure he'd love it.
Get to kill him again.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but yeah, from the genuine side of it, it's pretty well written. A lot of of the judgments, I think this is one of the moment to moment writing reads better. There's a short paragraph where they're describing him killing Noxians. I thought was pretty good.
I wrote down that whole paragraph too. It was so fucking cool.
So this is him having a memory of hunting down this Noxian column almost of soldiers and baggage train or whatever. Though what it fired wasn't an arrow, it behaved as one. It ruined as one. Traveled through the Noxian insignia, out of one gasping soldier and into another, exploding with 6 thirsting tongues that gripped and snared. With every death, Varus shot faster until, by the end, there was no sense that each shot was discreet. The prey simply ran until it fell. It was elegant horror. I'm that's pretty cool. I don't know.
It was very cool. I liked it a lot. I also liked the description they gave of Varus in here, too.
Yeah.
They said his arms disappear into black gauntlets of a liquid that can't entirely decide on a shape. Brackish muck creeps from his toes nearly to his navel, scabbing over into plates. It's cool as hell.
Yeah, and it stops at the owl tattoo, and he says it's almost. He describes it as like respect, like it hits the owl tat and is like, oh, that's too sick. I can't cover that fucking ink. can't cover up that gift to the world, man. But for how long? So now
This must have been a great owl tat.
I want to go back
Did
and
he
look.
have one in his old
I don't
splash?
remember. I never remembered
I don't
seeing
know.
it. I can only picture him as he currently is now.
Right?
So that's what's genuinely cool about it. But this story is also like he says swear words, and not just any swear words. He says the fudge word, the F dash word, the Queen Mother of all swears, and he says it twice.
Twice.
What?
The first one was
I see no owl tattoo.
yeah, maybe they already got covered up by then. I wish they would go through and just delete these instances from this story, because like the rest of it's, like I said, pretty well written, and then you got this thing where it's like okay, they're not the second one is not a sexual fuck. The first one possibly could be, because he's talking to the well.
Really?
Not really. I'm just naming.
Oh, okay.
But so
He's just writing his slash fic.
okay, so like the whole time the setup is that he's being tempted by this well, right? And the well is like, the question it always asks is now, and then we're like, fuck off, stop. But in the moment where he gives in, now it offered in almost a whisper, now Varus whispered back, now fuck you. And when he did so, it broke a dam deep in the earth so that the placid disc of the point, etc., etc. It's written as if he did indeed fuck that well. That's all I'm gonna say.
Could have happened.
But yeah, it just comes off so much like this is a really serious, mature story. He's gonna have to say some fuck words to really ramp it up.
Can I get permission for 2 Fs? Like, oh my god.
Standards and practices.
Fine. As long as you don't do any sort of like sexual, visual afterwards, like, oh no, definitely won't do that, boss. Don't read the story.
Scribbles out. Well, fuck yeah.
I'm so confused. Why does he say that?
Now fuck you.
How does he say fuck you?
Fuck you, well.
He's because the well won.
I think
it succeeded in corrupting him.
Yeah, I think he's like now, and then like pause. Fuck you.
Fine, I'll take your power.
We need an out there now and fuck you.
Yeah, I can.
Now,
That would've
also,
worked.
you
That would've
fuck
worked.
you.
Sure, I'm fine with that. It's very like I said, it's kind of funny.
Another 2 interesting things here. When he gets to the door, it said he absorbs his bow lest he be tempted to use it in the Institute of War. It slithers into his palm to rest.
Yeah,
That's pretty fucking cool.
he's cool in general. He looks. I was complaining about Val and Kai in the cinematic, but Varus at the end does look pretty cool. And the way the bow kind of
pops out of the well.
Yeah. Because it kind of quivers a little bit, like I don't know. It's
Cool as hell.
I'm surprised he doesn't get more play in media. You know what I mean?
Right. Also, the well that he was protecting, guess what it was called?
The Well of
The
Souls.
Pit of
Oh.
Halas.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Valmar's town name in current lore.
Yeah.
Oh, well, whatever. I thought that was cool.
It was no, it is cool, honey. I'm sorry. Okay, Jesus.
Guess I'll jump in.
So cool. I can't even take how cool you are.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Now we've got some quotes, which are, newish. Valiva, Zolari, Nefiri, what unique ambitions you have, my sisters. Valmar and Kai urge redemption. Is it so beyond me? We've got that Aatrox brother, the double A thing is absurd and you know it. I like that. Rost, perhaps we should warn our siblings about Ionian vessels.
I like that.
That's pretty good.
And then Rost, find 2 vessels next time. Trust me.
Get yourself a vessel who can
I
do
do
both.
like-
Okay.
I do like that these 2 Darkin were just thwarted by Ionians, stubborn Ionians.
It's funny seeing some of their interactions too, where Rost, like they're if they taunt each other, Rost is like, or like Kane's like, they'll fear me, and Rost is like, and they'll cower before my name, and Varus is just like, they don't even know you're in there, Frost.
That's true.
Yeah.
You look at Varus, and that's not a human being. But
Kane
Kane just
That's a
looks
sexy
like
guy.
That's just a sexy man.
with some sweet ass ink.
Sure. Yeah.
That sometimes becomes more ink when he gets real mad.
Just a little.
Okay, anyway.
We got a bunch of AUs.
So many God, I
AUs.
see the words high noon, John. We thought he didn't have a high noon.
I told you I thought he might, remember?
Yeah.
Luckily he's not
He's
part of
just
the
like
big
a-
war,
yeah.
so it's good.
That's good.
Yeah. First up, Legacy. Treasures from days long past, glimmering just within reach. We got Blight Crystal Varus. Wielding radiant mineral bows, 3 excavators dove into a cave of crystalline monsters, but only the grimly determined Varus emerged. While shattering the horrors that lurked in dark depths, they lost all grasp of time, sense, and self. Varus became an amalgam of crystal, monster, and man, now fracturing the world he once sought to make safe.
Okay. Varus, but he crystal. Okay.
But he crystal. Then we got Arclight. Once each millennium, an ancient godlike entity descends from the heavens, choosing worthy warriors to be his will incarnate. These beings are the Arclight, immortal agents of the light divine. This is Arclight Varus. The Archer Varus, bathed in the transcendental energies of the Arclight, found himself connected to a great cosmic wholeness more ancient than he had ever known. He now enforces this oneness, turning away entire armies long before they can ignite the flames of war. And this has a Legends of Runeterra card. And his level up is, the man once known as Varus has become one with the Arclight, guided by divine premonition to stymie conflict before it can even begin. When words aren't enough to deter oncoming war, Arclight Varus does not hesitate to loose his arrows upon those who would challenge the will of the divine. Which is a very, Minority Report style skin for Varus.
Sure.
He's like, he knows who's going to start a war before it starts. So you go over and shoot him first. We got PsyOps. High Command needed a new group to handle the growing threats along the Arctic front. They needed soldiers colder than the glaciers they'd be crossing, with ice in their veins and frosty nerves. Enter Arctic Ops.
Is that really how it's written? You're not bullshitting?
No, that is how it is written.
They pulled up the thesaurus and put icy in, and they used every word that came out. Every single one.
This is Arctic Ops Varus. Varus leaps from the rampart, a hail of arrows, flying from his bow and freezing the ground beneath his victims. As they struggle to regroup, he draws a missile, circuits flashing along its spine, and lets fly. Thanks for the archer, High Command.
That's the
All
Sky
right.
Captain signing off. What a weird way to end that. The rest of it's like fine.
That's
Right?
super weird.
Then we've got Rift Quest. Danger lurks in the land of Runeterra. Powerful monsters, dastardly sorcerers, and mythical creatures roam unchecked. Gather your friends and create your own adventure for 3 to 5 players, vanquishing evil with each roll of the die. Do you have what it takes to save the world and become a legend of Rift Quest? And this is Varus Swiftbolt. 2 archers cursed by an ancient evil monster. Varus is role-playing 1 archer cursed by an ancient evil monster. It's not much of a departure for him, but Varus is way better at hunting Noxians than playing tabletop games. And this has a little short story to go along with it. Journey to Thy Golden Mustache, which isn't very long, so I'm just going to kind of read it for you.
Sure.
It's, one of those, Welcome to Brom's Game Night, friends. Tonight, we play Castles and Cows. Journey to Thy Golden Mustache. Varus. This sounds like something you literally just made up. What? Of course not. I learned the tabletop role-playing game from, my mother. Enough talk. Now we create our characters. And then Gragas. I want to be an archer who is cursed by an ancient evil monster thing.
I do love how you had to specify that was Gragas, as if we weren't gonna know that was Gragas.
Maybe. I didn't know how the impression would
Maybe
sound.
Varus got real drunk in between tape.
That's But you can't. Brom, help me out here. Let puny purple man have his bows. You can be traveling cleric who raises his hands to the sky and treats the sun with respect. Can I get drunk? Sure. And I'm going to read this in old Rise voice. I will be a wizard with great power, carrying with me an enchanted tome and a magical scroll.
Sorry, honey, did you think that was a good old man voice there?
Yeah.
Okay.
You just described yourself. Wrong! My beard. It will be white. And I will be the strongest, bravest knight in all the land. People will love me, and I will have infinity friends, and all the princesses will be like, "Ooh, Brom Lionheart, you're so brave and handsome." Take me to
Quick pause.
Sue, focus. Take me to the royal dance, but I'll be like, "Princesses, please, I serve the weak and defenseless. I have no time for royal dances." What just happened here? Brom, I'm starting to think you may have made this game up too. Rolls dice. Oh, look at that! A giant dragon is attacking a nearby village. We should stop talking about everything else and go deal with that. Like now.
Isn't he the DM? Why is he playing?
He's
He's playing a
you know?
DM
Okay.
NPC, yeah.
I'm coming for you, you big stupid dragon. And he passes out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You may have thought there were like 12 characters in that one from the variations of
If
the
you're
accents.
curious what it's like to
that I,
play D&D with John as the DM, it's that. It's that right there. It's great.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Event Horizon, Dark Star. Entropy engulfs galaxies in the yawning maw of the Dark Star, whose corruptants, titanic creatures of black hole oblivion, snuff out the light of existence in every system they touch and plunge them into nothingness. This one's Dark Star Varus.
His face is real funny in this one.
Yeah,
His whole head.
whole head.
He doesn't really have one.
No, it's just like a Dark Star.
Oh, that's why they
floating-
call him Dark Star. I get it now. I get
It's
it.
got like a handle.
Yeah, he's a little teapot. An interstellar titan containing multitudes within his eldritch mind, Varus serves the all-consuming Dark Star, a dread singularity born in the darkness of deep space. His arrival is a cataclysmic extinction event, erasing entire planetary systems as if they were never there. Fun fact about him here. While his, eldritch mind does contain multitudes, deep inside it is light. So,
There's light at the
Yeah.
core of Kingdom Hearts. I see. Yes.
Merge my light with your light.
But the
We'll
darkness
have
and
the most
Kyrie.
all-powerful light. Or LEDs, if we want to be conscious of the environment.
Well, funny y'all should mention that, because that
Ooh.
brings us to Event Horizon. Cosmic.
Oh, hang on, I gotta find this. Oh, I found it.
Vast stardust creatures control the ebb and flow of creation, painting the cosmos with sublime light as their celestial court drifts along the fabric of time and space. This is Cosmic Hunter Varus, a young member of the Cosmic Court, minted in the image of the Dark Star corruptant Varus, tasked with destroying his monstrous doppelganger. This new Varus seeks his place among the stars after his task is finally complete.
They just put the same man in the same universe.
But he hunts first, man.
You have a stupid head with a handle. I hate it.
I have a beautiful head. Look at it now.
And my abs.
I love it. They're like, well, we want to make this skin for him. And so I was like, well, actually, in the lore, like he already exists in the other universe. And it's like, fuck it, just put another one. You
Make
lore
it hotter.
nerds.
Who cares about lore?
Fucking geeks, get out of my office.
Oh fuck.
Fun fact here, Cosmic Hunter Varus is inspired by the Orion constellation.
Ooh, neat.
Oh cool.
Yeah. Next up we got Infernal.
Varus, but he's on fire.
On fire.
God,
And
his
big.
torso's real goofy in this one. Have you looked at it, really?
That's
Not
rude.
lately.
He worked hard on that torso.
John, look at it. Look at that weird curve. It's so long.
Oh, he's just like a. He's like a nocturne.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
Mm.
Fire! Scorching an entire world takes unimaginable strength, which is why the Ashen Lord called upon his legions of infernals to lend their flames. From the darkest depths, they each bring their own terrible powers to bear, though not all answers their call with the same burning enthusiasm. This is Infernal Varus. The Infernal Varus rips massive grouts. Grouts? That's not the word. The Infernal Varus rips massive gouts of magma from the foundation of the earth before firing them.
I'm sorry.
You're not. Don't sit here and lie to our face.
I can't not hear it. If you say magma, it's just the first thing that pops into my head.
Rips massive gouts of magma.
Thank you.
From the foundations
Are you
of the
a millennial
earth
or not?
before firing them in volleys at those who would fight back against him. Each arrow lands with the ferocity of an exploding volcano, reducing all resistance to ash.
Jeez.
That's a
Yeah.
damn. A volcano?
Not so funny now, is it?
Sorry, you're right. I tremble before thee. Negatively, not in an excited way.
Good to know. He is inhumanly beautiful.
Not in this one. He's
He's inhumanly hot in that one. Got
right,
it.
yes. Yeah.
looks like a C.
Like a sea.
Girls all want that C figure on guys, and it's disgusting.
We don't. I didn't mean bend
Because
like
my
that.
sea figure.
It's like a snake.
He is like a snake.
Anyway.
Next up, we got Project. Among the mega structures and packed streets of a future controlled by global corporations, a shadow war rages between rebellious augmented humans and newly empowered artificial beings. The winners will shape the course of history, and the losers will be forced to evolve. This one's Project Varus. A replacement for the traitorous Ash model, Varus is the latest in Project Corporation's biological weapons, and a controversial experiment with one body inhabited by 3 sentient minds.
Oh, great. They just thought they'd try it.
Yeah, you know, why not?
Hey, boss, I got an idea.
Now,
Not two
now this one,
minds.
You think 2 heads are better than 1. Wow.
now I know that this is a replacement for the lady who went traitorous, all right? But what if we have 3 minds fighting against each other first? Then they can't fight against you.
Yeah.
Did it work?
Let's see. A command line counter-espionage operative acting on behalf of the Project Initiative, they work alongside the Resistance to mitigate the risk posed by Mordekaiser to their corporate interests. So I guess it worked.
There you go.
Okay. I like how they didn't come up with a backstory for the 3 minds. They're like, well,
Who
Any
fucking
3 will
cares?
do.
There's 3 minds inside this sweet-ass body.
any 3 will do. Shit, that's funny.
Next up, we got High Noon Gothic.
They just made this up. I swear to God, they didn't have this.
Gunslingers and lawmen ride beneath the merciless sun of the high frontier, chasing survival and salvation in equal measure. Heaven is rubble, hell is empty, and all the devils are here. This one's High Noon Varus. Ain't nothing for a dead angel to do but resign himself to grief. Varus was content to allow Mordekaiser to take him past the infernal gates themselves, until a ragtag gang of thieves interrupted his mourning. Varus now picks up his bow once more, riding as a harbinger. It's high time he got revenge for the massacre of heaven.
Get him.
Yeah, and this
If for some reason there's 3 people in there,
And also,
3 angels.
there's 3
I love
angels
that.
in one body.
I do love too. So he was also apparently an angel. So and Ash was also an angel.
Oh yeah, they're like, we got 2 people with bows. What
We got
can
2 people with bows. Let's keep connecting them. Also, let's keep making Mordekaiser the enemy of all of them.
Yeah. Huh.
weird.
Well.
And this has a short story, The Stranger on the Road, which we talked about. It's really a Talon story. But it said during Talon's whole, prophecy, from the west, the second harbinger, that's Varus, leaves the land of angels, delivering retribution upon those who slaughtered the innocent and damned the holy, forged in love, broken in death, tempered in vengeance.
Oh, shit.
That's pretty hardcore. Do you get that off someone's MySpace, or what's up? Like,
I have it tattooed.
And the
but
picture is like up
misspelled.
here. Just. I was never an emo kid. I don't know what they had.
Right.
I just know the
definitely
angles
not.
were so high.
Very high. They gotta be. Moons of Ionia, Snow Moon. As the snow moon rises beyond the humbling mountains of Ionia, a chill passes across the land. Those
God,
who worship...
no. Don't go into the icy stuff again.
You wait. Those who worship in its chilly name... No, just kidding. Just its name. A cult of unwavering assassins commence their ritual. With snow comes purification, a cleansing only possible through the sacrifice of one's humanity. This is Snow Moon Varus. Blood Moon cultists drove Varus's comrades mad, forcing him to take their lives. Awash with grief, he begged the Snow Moon Order to numb the pain, to make him an instrument of ice, cold revenge. The Order attempted to purify him of these heretical emotions, but Valmar and Kai's voices linger in his mind, and vengeance still smolders in his cold heart.
So they're just in there too?
Oh, hi! You didn't forget about us, right?
I like how most of the EUs, they're like, we're going to forget about the whole there's 3 people in this body thing.
or it's just
Except
3.
these 2 AUs.
Yeah, right. Weird. Maybe they got like lost. They're like, like, where are we again?
All the other AUs, they actually found a way to be free of the body.
Oh,
They're back
I love
home
that.
now.
Yeah, I like that.
so
Let's go with
sweet.
that.
Yeah. And then finally, we have Be Mine.
Oh, man.
Set in a world where
I haven't seen this in so long.
right? Where romance dominates. Each of the champions wear romantically themed attire. This is Heartseeker Varus. Love hurts, and Varus is ready to prove it with a quiver full of romance and the seasoned eye of a veteran matchmaker. Angelic harps follow him across the world as he searches for unwitting lovebirds who soon find their chests pierced by deadly heart-shaped arrow tips.
So sweet.
So sweet. A little Cupid. And finally, I have some fun facts for you.
Yay.
Alright.
We didn't do Conqueror Varus.
Yeah, that's just like a ranked type thing.
Oh,
Like a ranked
alright.
reward. Yeah, there's no
I wouldn't know. I'm not good at the game.
no lore for those, unfortunately. Not
That's
even
okay.
fun runway lore.
Yeah.
Damn.
So Varus, Valmar, and Kai are all voiced by Gavin Hammond, who also voices original Pantheon and Bloodlord Vladimir.
Oh, wow. That's neat.
Yeah. Varus's piercing arrow is a rework of Tristana's old draw a bead ability, which, while active, would reduce her movement speed to increase her range.
Oh.
Man, I don't
Yeah, I
remember
ever played
that.
school
Yeah.
in that.
I know, this was before I played, even. The League of Legends art team worked with Gabe and Tycho from Penny Arcade to make a special edition champion sneak peek for Varus.
Which I think is referenced in the comic, because the line in the Penny Arcade comic is like, dogs of Noxus, the whistle you hear is not the wind. And there's like a line that's kind of like that twice in the comic, like the sound you hear is something like that. So,
I like that. Very cool.
yeah.
Riot wanted to deliver some of the creepy, fluid feeling of the corruption, but it was also important to give Varus a forceful, solid, strong weapon that you could identify him with, instead of feeling like, as you do, for instance, with like the T-1000 from Terminator 2, that the bow is just one piece of a big bag of tricks. And also, when they were doing the, kind of visual study, the visual impact of his animations with that cool-ass bow was very satisfying, so... and the visual effect designer for Varus's login screen was Anthony Possabon. He had one of those early animated ones.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember what it looks like, to be honest with you.
I think it's probably just him, like...
Breathing.
breathing.
Yeah, like,
that
yeah.
was a lot of them, right? With, like, maybe some corruption coming out.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Varus means bent outwards or bow-legged in Latin. Yeah. Varus is implied to be ambidextrous, as evidenced by having two skins, or two skin arts, rather, that have him holding his bow in his left hand and the other two in his right.
Oh.
Varus is around 3,496 years old as he ascended during the Acathian uprising against Shurima.
I haven't had one of these in a while.
Right.
Yeah, right. Real old. Kai is a common Devorian name with many variants, so Aurelia's deceased brother Kai is not the same Kai living within Varus. Don't be confused.
They're spelled differently.
Varus was the first champion to be released in Season 2 with only one alternative skin, and then subsequent champions followed this pattern. He was the first one to break of the two skin tradition.
I think he was the last judgment too. Is that right?
He was the very last
Wow.
judgment. Yeah, he broke a lot of traditions. Varus is one of the few champions that can apply crowd control on themselves. And he's the only Darkin champion whose abilities currently have any ability power ratios to them. Potentially maybe because he was retconned into being a Darkin. But also, prior to his rework in Season 8, Aatrox did have an ability power ratio on his old ultimate, but doesn't anymore.
Yeah.
So stop building AP Neferi, Mark.
Right?
I mean-
Come on, Mark.
Look, when it works, I've seen it work. Okay, I'll go find some guy on YouTube shilling the AP Neferi build. Okay.
I'll go find a Dark Main video with some AP Neferi.
Well, any final thoughts on Varus?
No, I think we've gone through a lot of it. I don't know.
Yeah, give us
Yeah.
that nice, slow-paced character piece, and I'd be
Yeah,
happy.
Yeah.
that'd be great. Well, that was Varus. Thank you for listening. We have a Twitter. It's at Loreheads, and a Twitch, twitch.tv/Loreheads streams. John streams on Saturdays. He does TFT and ARAMs with viewers if you want to join on in. We also have a YouTube. John posts some clips of the podcast, and we record this. You could see us. What do we look like?
Hi. It's
You'll
not
regret
what
it.
you would think, apparently.
Oh, Mark just did peekaboo. Where's
No one's
Mark?
impressed.
Also, there's a new song there now. So.
Oh
Yeah,
yes, Mark did an Ergot parody that is
I
just
didn't do
delightful.
shit.
Well, John did, but
Oh my God, Mark! John did. Sorry, John did it. John did it all.
That peekaboo just throwing everybody off.
It really did. You disappeared for a second. I was so scared. We have a Discord. You want to find some people to play League with or chat about the lore, post weird memes, please join the Discord. And we have a Patreon. Thank you so much to all of our patrons.
but a very special thank you to our Medarda tier patrons, King of Hearts, Mr. Dead, Big Man Gnomes, and John has a dig bick. If you were going to be corrupted by the big ol' pit of corruption, I would dive in and take the corruption for you and become the inhumanly beautiful beast instead of you. You're welcome.
Oh, wow. You can't
Bless
get
you.
any more inhumanly beautiful, honey. Well, I did a count. We have 25 champions left.
Holy shit.
I know. We are going to finish this year.
Man, that MMO better come out.
We'll see what happens.
We'll figure it out.
We'll finish just in time for Arcane Season 2.
Oh,
Probably.
we'll see how many champions
We'll
get
find some
released.
revisits.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely find some revisits. But please join us next week for, I'm sure, going to be a really great, fun episode because we all love the Night Hunter vein.